Alright guys, I'm going to show you how I clean my heads. Doing a head gasket replacement, show you how I went about it. Here if you see the heads are clean, this is just heat stain or whatever. It's all cleaned out, smooth, you know. This one needs to be touched up a little bit more. Here's the other one that I've done all the way. Everything's cleaned out. Not bad. I got cardboard down to keep the table from getting fucked up. And I'm going to show you a couple things. I used brass brush wheels. They get eaten up. It sucks. But I'll tell you this, it takes the fucking caked on crap. It takes it right off the block without damaging the block at all. I got what, a set of 5 right here. Come with a set of 5 for $5. Get up various kinds. I'll show you the ones I still have because I'm cleaning the block now. But those are nice and clean. I cleaned everything with these, the valves, these heads. About to get ready to do the block, which I'm going to show you how I'm going about doing that. Those brush wheels, they take care of everything. No worries about, you know, damaging any of the surfaces. And then over here, I'll show you how. Yeah, that's my cleaning it's my cleaning cardboard. I sprayed everything down and did a rough cleaning with it. Here, got a valve I cleaned up. It'll focus. It is, you know, no carbon deposits, smooth. Brush wheel took it right off. There was a good amount. Wish I had a dirty one to show you a comparison. I'll put some photos up. That was dumb. Hope that didn't just happen. It's alright. Yeah, don't drop your valves like that. That's the first one I ever dropped. Anyway, this is how I keep everything. Springs to each valve, all the way around. You got front, back written down. The valves, springs, kept them with the retainers and the cap. Get one out. Yeah, they're in there. Little retainer clips. I got right there in the center. Keep them all together. Get the valves, the stems and rockers all together. There's a sensor. This is how I go about keeping everything so wear patterns match up. It's not, you know, I'm not rich, so I can do what I can to get the job done on a blown head gasket. Oh yeah, let's show this really quick. This would be a valve spring puller. Now, when you do a head gasket, you don't have to pull out the springs and valves, but they need to be cleaned. So, bought this guy. I think this was, I don't know, 10 or 15 bucks at the most. Clips around when it's in the head. Clips around, compresses the spring. You push it down, and then you can take the retainer clips out, which were kind of a pain, but you get them out either way. Cheap tool, effective, works. First couple valves, pain in the ass to learn how to use this efficiently, but it works. That's how I got all these guys out. Mercury Sable, 98. Let's get to the good stuff. Alright, here we have the block. Alright, that white stuff, paper towels. Putting paper towels in here, every little port, again, prevent, honestly the carbon, not that big a deal to me if it gets in these holes.
I don't care about little carbon because I'm going to change the oil out and do a coolant flush anyway. So I don't care about the carbon, really. Honestly, what I care about is going to be taking my Dremel, which I have right here. Dremel right here. It's got the brush wheel. This one's already eaten up a little bit, but that brass, those little brass hairs, they pop off. They pop off. That's how I cleaned everything, was with this guy and the brass wheels. So what I'm really worried about is when I go to clean this guy, I'm cleaning it and little brass hairs end up in these ports. You know, honestly, one is a fucking metal hair in your block. So I'm clogging them all up with just paper towels, just something to catch the hairs or keep them from going in the holes. And as another precaution, I'm also using a vacuum. Vacuum will hold it one hand while I'm dremeling the surface, catch up carbon, which is great, and I've already tried it. Some of the hairs get away, so I ended up doing this with a paper towel and head gasket. As you notice, I left the exhaust on. That's just black duct tape, so I numbered it. And bolts. I numbered everything on my engine. It's probably a good thing you should do. This is the first time I ever taken apart a car, so I had a gasket replacement first time. Number everything. Everything's pretty much out, so everything's numbered. Let's just put it that. I got numbers here. White paint, white marker paint. Everything's numbered. There's all numbers on the intake. The heads, it's all numbered. Matching numbers. 4, and wherever that connects, there's a 4 on it. So it's just, you know, it makes it that much simpler to keep track and put everything back together. Taking it apart, it's not a big deal. And with bolts, they're numbered in bags. 12, that's number 12 bolt. Whole bucket here full of bolts. I ran out of bags, so I went with gloves. Just anything to contain the bolt and number it. So, you know, no sense in freaking putting it back together and sitting there guessing where everything goes. And a shitload of bolts, about 50 of them. And that's pretty much how I go about it. I'm gonna clean out the fuel injectors. Gonna set up something, get some batteries, hook them up, put cleaner through them. Just fire it with the battery until it sprays nice spray, not like, you know, turbo. If you know fuel injectors, they get clogged, may not spray right. They'll kind of stream, not really spray like a fire hose nozzle, I guess you could say. It'll just kind of, it won't spray, it won't have a good spray pattern. Everything's numbered 8. Everything. Got a head gasket kit for $95 on rockauto.com. I'd recommend that place highly. Best prices anywhere around. Took about a week and a half for my head gasket to show up. Yeah, $95. Head gasket came within a week. Came with every gasket from the heads up and everything. You know, I called the mechanic, asked him how much would it be to do a head gasket. He said $850 for labor and then $150 for parts, which he then told me it's not even going to include a whole kit. So as you can see, you have the time, do it yourself. It's really not this complicated as long as you have a good system set up, number everything, have means to clean everything honestly. So $850 for labor plus $150 for parts, and it's not even all the gaskets. It's not every gasket, he says, not a whole kit. So yeah, $1,000 at least for a mechanic to do your head gasket. So far I'm about 2 weeks into this, because on and off, working on it.
Got this guy. I don't know if I need it. It's a valve grinding compound, which I might return because the brass wheels cleaned everything off. So that's pretty much how I did a head gasket replacement. I'll show you a video of how well those brush wheels take carbon off. A few seconds won't hurt. Let's see if we can get a good view of. Let me get a light. I'm not a producer, so excuse the production quality here of the video, but I'm pretty sure I'm going over everything I have. Let me see if I can get in the video a good spot where carbon buildup is. Okay, you see that crap right there? All that black shit, that's carbon. Alright. Take a little more time and get it all out, completely cleaned out, no carbon, all that, etc. So, seen people do head gaskets. They recommend using scrapers, razor blades, cleaning agents, anything and everything. I'll tell you this, a cleaning agent's not going to take out that carbon like that. Don't even think about taking a scraper, razor blade to your head, because it will scratch. Those things are made out of freaking steel. You know, brass. Only use brass with engines. I'm going to recommend it. Yeah, they're $5 a wheel. You know, $5 for a set of wheels. I've gone through maybe 5 already. 5 packages of 5. But I'll tell you this. Safety first. Like your baby, you're not going to give, you know, you're not going to risk it at all. No point. So, that's how that went. Close up on that carbon removal. Can't complain. Fuel on my car, I was able to put the fuel rails off to the left and all the electrical off to the right, so it worked out perfect. Everything got out of the way. And I'll get a video of putting it all back together. I think that's pretty much it. Let me think here for a second. Okay, let's go over this. Let's say $1,000 the mechanic wanted, right? Let's just show a run through of everything I went through. Got a tool set here, a 301 piece mechanic tool set from Harbor Freight. Has everything you need, especially the T50 Torx that you're gonna need to take your components on the belt off on the left here. You know, alternator, all that. Get the studs out. 301 piece mechanic set listed at $189. I got it for $150-ish with a coupon, and those coupons are readily available and free. You know, they're easy to get a hold of. So, looking at $150 here. I also got an impact wrench, nice air compressor, only 2 horsepower, 8 gallon, but you know, don't really need it that much. But $119. Tool, I think that guy was 50 or 60 or something. Everything I need for the car in general. Assembly loop for when I put the rockers and rods back in. A few bucks, maybe less than $10. I know that, around 5 maybe at AutoZone type stores. Through and through, I got everything for around maybe $700. So not only now do I know how to do a head gasket, watched a video online of a guy doing it. I may link it in my comments. But I got tools, everything, coolant. I'm gonna tell you this about coolant, just so, because coolant, I don't know why it costs so much. It's overpriced, honestly. These freaking jugs right here. Coolant, mixed, pre-mixed, or not. This bottle alone is fucking $10. Now I got full strength. I got full strength because
Why am I going to pay somebody for mixed coolant 50-50 when the full strength is actually cheaper? So, how hard is it to mix something 50-50? It's exactly 1 US gallon. It's 1 gallon, full strength, cheaper than the pre-mixed. So what do? I'm gonna tell you this: you don't mix it with fucking tap water. You don't mix it with any old regular water. What you do, you go to your local Walgreens, wherever that sells bottled water, and you get distilled water. Distilled water has no minerals, it's straight water pretty much, 100% water. So that's what you mix it with at a 50-50 ratio. Easy, gallon, 50, cheaper than buying pre-mixed and needing, probably, my car needs 11 quarts. Each one of those gallons is 3-something quarts, so that's 3-6. I'm gonna need about 2 more bottles. So instead of spending, let's see, these were 88 cents a piece. So instead of spending about 25 bucks on coolant, if I would have got the pre-mix, it's going to look at 40 bucks to do a coolant change. You know what? Forget that. Yeah, I got everything. I got every little thing at Harbor Freight. I really, for the prices they offer, I'm saying they're great. They're not bad, you know. Can't complain. Anywhere else you're looking at spending double. There is one complaint: tool set came with 2 of the same sockets. Not a big deal. Those sockets are strong enough to work on a car. I've heard shit about them that they'll break. They haven't broken. They won't break. I don't even know how it would be possible, but they are hardcore. They're good to do a car job. Any work on your car, those sockets are great. Wrenches, etc. The ratchets. Check it out, 301 piece mechanic tool set. Can't go wrong for the price, honestly. And you never really need any more tools. Let's see. I think I've covered everything. You know, I also got, what is this? Motor oil. Motor oil. Okay, when you work on your, when you do take apart the, heads, rockers, and all that, you're gonna need to at least 1 quart of motor oil. I didn't have to dump my oil to do it. Of course, I lost a little bit, but I'm gonna use this guy. Fill it up with oil and use it to pre-lube the heads and stuff when I put it back together. So this was, I don't know, a few bucks. Harbor Freight. There you go. This guy, power steering fluid. Well, it says automatic transmission fluid, but it's the same Mercon 5. Car calls for any kind of Mercon-based fluid for the power steering, which definitely had to be removed. As you can see, has been removed. No power steering and no alternator, so I had to empty out the power steering fluid. But the power steering, I had recently done a coolant flush. I had recently had flushed the power steering and replaced it, so the fluid was still good. I said, hey, why spend any more money? So I caught it and I saved it. I got it in a bag here. It's kind of ghetto rigged everything, I know, but it works. I'm not a fucking professional mechanic, but I'll tell you this: average Joe guy can do replace a head gasket. See if we can get the color. See, that's the old power steering fluid, still nice in her head. Can't complain. Caught it. That's about maybe a third of the power steering fluid goes in the car anyway. Caught it. Yeah, I'm working with what I got, but hey, it's a quality job. You know it's a quality job because you do it yourself. You get the tools for life. Can't complain. Looking, spend $700 tops for everything. Everything. And it covers the whole gasket. Oh, I'm gonna tell you this. If you do use a Dremel, which I recommend, a rotary tool with brass wheels, best way to clean off the old material, defects in the heat, just to clean everything. To wear these, those hairs fly off, and I had one hit me in the eye. Didn't feel too pretty, but
definitely use safety goggles. Safety first, especially with high-speed applications or anything that's, you know, could shoot off at 100 miles or some an hour. Thing rotates at 7,000 RPM, so you could easily lose an eye. Whole place is a mess because I've been freaking working on it, and they got freaking that over there, whole table full of stuff. I roll my own cigarettes, don't mind that. You know, tools everywhere. It's just crazy. But hey, $700, I get to keep everything and save at least $300. You can't go wrong. Don't ever pay a mechanic for this crap. Well, I'll tell you this, if you don't have the time, I'm 2 weeks in. So, I'll tell you this is, they charge so much because of the time. And if you if you have an extra car, whatever, you know, you have the time to do a head gasket replacement, you have a good 2 to 3 weeks at least to do it yourself. You know, if I do it again, I probably could do it faster, but first time, definitely do it yourself. Why pay so many $1,000? You know? Shit, now that I got all the tools, if I ever have to do a head gasket replacement again, it'll cost me $200 tops with all the fluids and oil and head gasket kit and various other little things. You can't go wrong. You just can't. Here's all the other stuff. Here's my power steering. Power steering. Don't be worried that they say this is a high pressure line. All you guys do is, I siphon this out while I was in the car to get most of the fluid out. Just use it's like a gravity fed siphon with a little cheap pump on it. Once it gets going, it slowly drains it out with gravity. I think the pump was a few bucks. Obviously, you know, I have a budget, and there's no need to pay loads of dollars to do anything if a few bucks will do it. So there's the power steering, here's my alternator. Studs, oh man, I'll tell you this wasn't fun. I'll tell you this, these studs, they go on the block. They're part of the assembly to hold the alternator, power steering, and all that on there. The trick with this, I had to do, which I'll shoot a video. As I start putting back the car together, I'll shoot videos of everything I do. You actually have to get the stud out. You have to double up the bolts. And it was a pain. You gotta double up the bolts. I'll take this one off. Double up the bolts. I put them face to face on there like that. You tighten them against each other so they're locked in. And then when you go to untighten with this guy, instead of it just spinning off, that bolt locks it. So then you could spin the whole stud out, because as you can see, you take the nut off, it'll be sitting in the engine. Then that's just sticking out. Now you don't want to take pliers or anything to grab this guy to remove it out of the block or whatever. You know, you'll strip the threads. So you just do the double nut method. I'll get a video on that too. Coolant reservoir, had to dump it. I recommend doing that first. If you're going to do a head gasket replacement, dump your coolant first. Had to go underneath the car, take off under the front bumper, protective plastic lining, you know, find the cap and drain it out. Shit's dangerous. Coolant is dangerous. Don't, you know, underestimate it. It's hazardous as hell. Kind of burns the skin. I don't know if it's because mine had exhaust in it. That's why I did this head gasket replacement. I would uncap the coolant and it would smell worse than what comes out the muffler. It was hardcore exhaust buildup in here. Distributor block, upper intake, lower intake, heads. It's all here. Cleaned that up already. So you can see it's nice. Not too bad. Black markings are it's just dirty. You know, it's just a little staining. No bumps or raises. All its gaskets off. Everything's off. Can't complain. Oh, I'll tell you this. I'll show you really quick. you ever work on your car, you have to better get one of these. I got the Haynes manual for my car. Went to go do the torquing on the thermostat, and let me just find a page with torque specs if I can. Anyway, it sucked. Torque specs said 100 and something, between like 90 and 125 inch per pounds. You need a torque wrench to work on these cars because you got each bolt is torqued down to a certain torque for the gaskets. Once you go torque it down, set the wrench to 100 foot-pounds and snap the bolt on the thermostat, so I had to go out and buy new bolts. But be careful with these books because some of the things, the low torque ones, they're written off in inch per pounds. And most torque wrenches are foot per pounds or the NM. So be careful with these books. I made that mistake. Thank God it wasn't a crisis. Just a little pain in the ass. So if it does say inch per pounds, say 100 inch per pounds, let's just do 120 inch per pounds. To convert it to foot, you divide it by 12. 120, 12 inches in a foot, divided by 12, 10 foot-pounds. That's the real torque. I wish they would have done it all in foot-pounds, but hey, surprises. Be careful. Detail. Attention to detail as always. Oh, what else can I tell you about this head gasket replacement? I think I've covered everything, honestly. Brass wheels. You know, me, I'm a skinny guy. I'm going to tell you this. Look at me, man. Do I look like a freaking muscle guy? You know? Was able to do it. Had to fight with some bolts, but hey, I did it. I ain't got a problem. You don't have to be a freaking bodybuilder or even super strong. I do work out, but this ain't the strongest guy in the world, and I was able to do this job. I'm going to edit this video out. Can't go wrong. $700, do it yourself. You have the time, why not? Save yourself hundreds of dollars and get tools. Next time it's even cheaper. Every man needs a tool set, and that right there, 301 pieces, you can't go wrong. They won't break, I'll tell you that. Trying to think. I know my videos are kind of, you know, not the cleanest professional guy to do this. This is my stuff. Nobody's paying me. I'm not working for anybody. I'm doing this stuff all on my own, average Joe shit, you know. So nothing's, you know, super quality production video wise, but hey, I'll tell you this, doesn't need to be to get the job done. Don't have to pull the AC compressor, don't even worry about it. I was hoping I didn't have to pull out the alternator and power steering, but I did. That's whatever. It wasn't that hard or that much work. Pull the battery first. Disconnect it off the chassis, the negative. Disconnect it, pull the battery first, of course. Drain coolant, all that, etc. Yeah, I know this is not the best drawer setup, but it works. Covered everything. Oh, I'll tell you this, power steering, coolant, highly hazardous material. Catch it, contain it, go to the proper facility, dispose of it. Do not throw it in your dumpster, don't throw it in the trash, don't pour it down the sink. This shit is highly lethal. You don't want it in the environment. I think it's free of the, in my area, I'm pretty sure it's free to dispose of the fluids, you know, because of how hazardous they are. Most cities will dispose. You just drop it off to them and they'll take it for free. Some even have an exchange program or something to promote that. I'll tell you something.
Haven't came across this yet. Not exactly sure what the fuck these are. So one of you guys know what the hell these are? Please comment, because I don't know. Because here's valve seals. Those are the exhausts. I got the intake somewhere. Let's look at the list off on the kit. If it focuses. We got 2 cylinder heads, right? 2 head gaskets, 1 EGR valve, 1 exhaust manifold gasket, 2 bags of head bolts. Don't let that confuse you. That's 2 bags of head bolts. 6 in each. 6 injector O-rings. These guys. Yeah. I don't know why they number it. Some of these are numbered per bag and some are actually numbered quantity in the bag. So it's kind of confusing. 1 intake manifold, the plenum, 2 valve covers, 1 bag of valve stem caps. That's what these are. I don't know what the fuck they are. The 6 valve stem seals, exhaust, intake, 6 on each, and 1 water outlet, right? Yeah, don't know what these are. Look through the internet. Can't find anybody who uses these when they replace their valve seals, so kind of lost. We tried even Googling valve stem caps, and nothing comes up. Not for this kind of ring. Nothing. Can't find anything on the internet about these. These though, yeah, these are everywhere. These though, no, they're called Victor lines. Fortunately, they're overseas. Time difference is 6 to 8 hours. So you gotta call them early in the morning to catch them, or really late at night if you want to stay up. Phone's ringing. All right, that's it.